Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's me, Lorene, and I am here with you today. This beautiful Friday. How does it get any more wonderful than what we have today? I am so incredibly grateful to be here. To be with you. Gotta love that. Righty ho, that gets that little bit of stuff out of the way. Hello, Christine. How are you, darling? I hope you are doing super, super well. All right. While you're here, Christine, I might just do yours now because I know that you have to get off and do work and appointments and stuff. So just because we're waiting for other people to come in, so I'm happy to do yours just quickly right now. Which one would you like to play with? I think this one. Hi, Tamara. Just going to quickly do Christine's one. So yes, no pendulum. So we'll get that done first, and then we can jump into the weekly reading for everybody. Oh, Tamara, that's so beautiful. All right. So we got the old amethyst out this time. So let's show us a yes. Show us a no. Hi, Edwina. Okay. Truth, what's going to create more for Christine? Renting to Alex Group. Truth, renting to Emily Group. Or Truth, renting to Zareth Group. Okay, so by that, it looks like the one that you should go for, Christine, is Emily Group. So it's up to you, of course. Any information that is gleaned from the pendulum today it's yours to take or use as you wish. If you don't, that's cool. And at the end of the day, you're the one that's got to be accountable for whatever choice you make. All right. So thank you very much for contributing to the show. I'm so grateful for your continued support, and I hope that you have a fabulous day, Christine. Hi, Melinda. Hello, hello. That's that one sorted. So Tamara, you will be first after I do the weekly reading, and then Edwina after that. All right. How's everybody's week been? We had the lovely full moon this week. It was very big and bold and beautiful, and it certainly stirred up a lot of energy. So, yeah, fascinating times, I have to say. I'd love to know how you all went with it because, yeah, I found myself being in many situations this week where communication was very important. And knowing when to shut the fuck up has been very important too. You know how it goes sometimes. All right. It's been big for Tamara. Yeah. My gosh. So obviously today is Friday the 13th. How auspicious a day is that for us? We love those lovely auspicious type days. I know I do. My mother was born on the 13th, and that may be a good thing, or it might not. I don't know. She always felt like it was a good thing. Oh, wonderful, Tamara. Tamara, check this out, my friends. She cleared a big block around imposter syndrome this week. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, fantastic. I became aware, and I'm going to be doing some deep work on it tomorrow, but the process actually started today. I became aware of some past life stuff that is preventing me from moving forward from some specific areas in my life. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's pretty epic. And I was like, okay, this is fascinating stuff, and these messages have come through from a few different areas in my life, but one of the most profound ones was actually Ina Segal herself. She, because I have her on Facebook, and she's got a brand new card deck coming out, and from Rockpool Publishing, and I think it's something to do with ancestral healing, if I remember rightly. And she just put up 2 cards and asked us to tune in on a question and then see which card drew you to it. And then a day later, she revealed what that was. And I was like, oh, that is so spot on. Spot on. And I was like, that's what I needed to know. Thank you. Because, when you know there's something more to whatever it is that is going on, and it doesn't seem to make sense in your current life, and things just are not sitting properly, and you start questioning everything, and especially yourself, and you start going into maybe a little bit of self-doubt and all of that sort of stuff. It's like, that's where I've been this week. And I'm just so grateful that I was gifted this message that really sunk home to me. So I'm like, cool. So safe to say I'm going, because I did some theta work with myself today, and starting this process, which I didn't necessarily mean to start it today. I was actually just going to start it tomorrow, but it was like the timing was correct, and I was gifted that moment of the impromptu moment of going, okay, now's the time to start. I'm like, okay. So a lot of things for me that is coming up at the minute is around control, and it's interesting. It's interesting times. So yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at this big old reading for the collective. So this may be resonating for you. It may not. Maybe part of it will. The other parts won't. It's totally up to you how it sits and lands with you. It may not feel like it lands today, but maybe it'll land tomorrow. Who knows? These things are, you can never predict how exactly they're going to land for everybody. So let us have a look. So as I have a look at these cards that are sitting in front of me for the collective from the 14th of June through to the 20th of June, the first thing, so it appears that, I love all these 13s that are coming up. Oh dear, I love it. Christine has a numerology with 4s and 13s, which of course 1 and 3 makes 4, which is beautiful. Tamara has a son and a daughter, both born on the 13th. We live in the house number 13, so 13 is definitely a lucky number in our house. So that's pretty cool. Melinda's house is also 13. Oh dear. And Tamara said, we are in Mother Father Wounds in my inner child course this week. Oh yeah, that can hit deep, can't it? It's amazing how much of that initial work, the initial experiences, I should say, are so deeply embedded that we just don't even recognize that they are even there until we do something like your beautiful inner child course that you're doing tomorrow. Like, that's just so amazing, and I love that you're doing that and providing that service. So how cool. I bet you the people who are doing the course with you are feeling very blessed at this point in time. Just need to take my tea out before I overbrews. Okay, cool. This particular tea, which I'll tell you guys about in a minute, is actually in relation to continuing the process for tomorrow. So yay. Anyway, so there might be some stuff that's come up for you this week. There might be some areas where you felt a little bit of conflict. You might have felt a little bit uneasy. You might have been going through the things that I was just talking about, feeling like you're in self-doubt, feeling like you got questions, feeling like I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what this is. I don't know. And a lot of that is full moon energy. Apparently, you've still got Pluto floating around. So that adds a lot of interesting energies into all of that self-questioning. And with that is a lot of interesting stuff that can start to bubble up, and it feels like it's coming out of nowhere, and it might feel like it's a little bit funky, and it might feel like you're just losing your noodles. And the people around you are like going, what the hell are you on? Anyway, the first card we've got is, have you asked your angels for help with this? And your angels want to help you with the situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So as I'm seeing this card, it's a little nudge to say, hey, reach out to your team, because your spirit team, because they can help you. They can help you with maybe giving you a slightly different perspective. Maybe they can help you with bringing in some additional sources of information. Perhaps they might help you by putting a post from Ina Segal in your face. And, normally I'm not one to go, when people put up cards and stuff that go, oh, pick a card, like I'll do it once every maybe 6 to 12 months. I'm not a very regular chooser of that. So that was obviously one of the ways that my team was helping me to get a little bit of insight as to what was going on, which is really cool. So ask your team for some help. If you're getting any wobbles, any crunchy bits, anything like that this week, please reach out to your team. Ask them for support. And if you're currently going to be processing through stuff, of course, ask your team to be around you to help you move through it with ease. Okay, so if you're on an inner child course with Tamara, definitely get your team around you so that you can feel supported. It's not about limiting you. It's not about keeping those aspects locked in. It's about giving you the comfort and support around you to allow you to release the things that are no longer serving you anymore, so you don't feel alone. Because that's the biggest thing with this, is that this time in our lives where we're clearing so much crap out of our world, when we are doing it and we feel alone, we're less likely to follow it through. So I'll tell you guys a story about that a little bit later on. But so yes, ask your team for some help this week. We've got cancel, clear, delete. I have a funny feeling that popped up last week, but I cancel, clear, delete, and whatever terminology that you use for cancel, clear, delete is absolutely fine. So it says use only positive words and thoughts as they are rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. So again, we come back to the 4 agreements, right? Where we are impeccable with our word. And when we are impeccable with our word, we're using positive terminology. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought to myself, there was an instance that I could think of that I was talking to a friend, and I just went, you know what? I was like, wow, I couldn't actually think of anything positive to say in that moment, or I hadn't said anything positive, which, for me is like, whoa, to say about that moment or that incident. And I was like, wow, that's sort of one of the big signs to me that there's some background shit going on that I am not clearing, and I haven't done it, and it's like it's coming up to be cleared. So take notice of your words, take notice of how you're speaking about situations, and how are you speaking about that? Because it's like it's a really good indicator that's probably got nothing to do with the situation. It's more to do with what's happening in here, what's happening up here, your ego, your heart, your being, and the fact that these things are all trying at the moment, as they have our whole lives, to come into alignment. And the trouble is that we forgot about our being for a really long time. And our being has all of that higher knowledge. It has all of that ancestral knowledge. It has all your spiritual knowledge. It has your Akashic records knowledge. It's got all of this stuff, right? That's what your being has. And your beautiful body, your ego, has gone and forgotten all of it. And so you're just slowly bringing back bit by bit, piece by piece. And the being is now having greater access, which is wonderful, fantastic. And now you're starting to become aware of some of the things that have been holding you back, have been preventing you from moving forward. And that's certainly been the case for me. And I'm looking at this going, yes. So the little ego is sitting over there trying its best to continue with its job that it's been programmed to do. And we're now saying over here going, that's not your programming anymore. We're going to change that. And the ego's going, no. Oh, that's so funny. I've been watching a lot of Tabitha Takes Over today. And last night. Love that show. And you see it a lot with the people. There's normally one or maybe two in a salon which are like the divas, and they don't want to let go of how they've always done things. And it's like, that's very much, if you've ever watched that show, you'll know. Hi, Tony. You'll know what I'm talking about. And that's very much what's happening for us. This is a whole business salon thing going on, and it's intense work. It's intense work. And for so long, we've been playing the victim. We've been pretending like we don't know what we're doing. We've been ignorant or just oblivious to what it actually takes to be a spiritual, enlightened, balanced in our polarities, our masculine and feminine polarities being. And we're now getting the kick up the butt from our higher selves going, now's the time, So it's interesting. Tamara said that 13 is a divine feminine goddess number. Awesome. And when they suppress the feminine, they condition everyone to believe that 13 was a bad number. I feel like I've heard that before, and connected to bad luck. So 13 is actually a beautiful number. Yes, I feel the truth in that. Definitely. Hi, Tony. So cancel, clear, delete is what they're saying. Tony. But you use whatever version of that works for you. Some people say cancel, clear, delete. And I'm curious to know what else you guys might use out there. I come with a little bit of a background, as you guys know, in access consciousness. So I tend to do pod and POC as my cancel, clear, delete, which is why I say just whatever version you use, that just roll with that. 13, Tony, 13. We were talking about the number 13 because it is Friday the 13th today. The last card for this week to come is manifestation power. So use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. Interesting, right? So our words are powerful. If you wish to continue to create crappy situations, continue talking about them. If you wish to create fabulous situations and experiences and outcomes, talk about those. So it's like, we'll go back to the Tabitha takes over example, where you've got maybe two staff members that are just bitching at each other all the time, and they just cannot seem to agree. Now, as the person standing on the outside of all of that, you can see that they're actually trying to talk about the same thing, but they're coming at it from two slightly different angles. And because they're two slightly different angles, and because they've got all their little egos going on and their self-protection going on, they can't actually see beyond their own little barrier to be able to go, oh, actually, hey, I see that you're actually coming at it from the same kind of perspective, and how can we support each other? And that's the sign of maturity. That's a sign of emotional maturity when you can actually do that. The lower the barrier just that little bit, look over the fence, go, hey, how can we work on this together, rather than butting heads all the time. Because in the situation with Tabitha takes over, it's about making sure that the business makes money so that the owner cannot be in hundreds of thousands of debt and actually go home with a pay packet at the end of the day and perhaps even thrive. And that's the same for us in our lives, right? Hi, Rick. And thank you for my rose. That's beautiful. So definitely have a look at how you're speaking about things and know your spiritual gifts. Bring them out to play. I've had a lot more of Dr. Brian Weiss this year than I've had in previous years. I've continued to use my theta healing. I've continued to use my Reiki from time to time. I've continued to use, in fact, I actually used Reiki a couple of weeks ago on a client's house where the wife had died. And I was in there to help support the family by cleaning up. And I actually used the Reiki on their master bedroom. So it wasn't necessarily for me, but it was for me too, because the energy was so heavy and so thick in that room. And I was just like, because she had spent a lot of time in that room. She had been struggling to get up. And until she went off to hospice and stuff. So there was a lot of heavy energy in that room. So I used the Reiki on all the walls. I just did it quietly. Nobody was looking. And it was beautiful. And I went back to that house this week, and the energy was so different in that space. And I'm like, yes, there's a reason why we've learned these gifts. There's a reason why we do have these abilities to heal, to change the energy of a room, a house, a person, ourselves. And it's all vital stuff. And if you don't know any of these tools, that's okay too, because there's plenty of people and courses and places that you can learn things. YouTube's a fantastic resource. There's all sorts of ways to do healing, to do clearings, to do changing the energy. There's, we are so lucky these days, that we have the access to so much information at our fingertips for free. Now, obviously, if you wish to have a deeper understanding, understanding of a tool or a resource or a gift, then go actually do a course or a class. Go actually do the thing, do the learning, do the student thing, and get yourself higher educated. It's not about the certificate, it's about the experience. So yes, there is a part. So Tony said, I've just been learning teacup readings. I've been practicing on people. Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for doing that, sharing that gift. That's so cool. I've always wondered about tea leaf reading. The yummy card that we've got for this week to come is acknowledge. So with this one, I see acknowledge your progress. Acknowledge how far you've come. Take a moment at least once this week, perhaps on Wednesday. Let's make that the day. Acknowledge just how far you've come in the last 12 months, 5 years, and take a moment to praise yourself. If it helps, imagine the 12-month version of yourself standing in front of you and then giving them the praise for how far you've come. That sounds a bit weird because you want to do that to yourself, but you as you are now, you can do it with mirror work if you like. It's kind of like the inner child work where I can go, do you know what? Where you were 12 months ago versus where you are now is just huge. And I'm such a massive change. I'm so proud of you because It's like gratitude, the gratitude practice. You go, I'm so grateful for you guys because you give me the brightness and the lightness on my Friday evenings that I wouldn't have been able to get any other way. You give me a reason to get dressed up on a Friday evening, and I love that. You give me an ability to keep practicing my craft. And I get to connect with you all, and it's really cool, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, there we go. So ask your team for help. Do some clearing work. It might be cord cutting and root removal work, or just being very aware of your words. And make sure that you're talking positively about things. Sure, crunchy things are going to come up, and be aware of what words you're using. Are they actually helping, or are they hindering you moving forward? I would have to be there to drink the tea, don't I? Or is it all about intention, Tony? I'm curious. I feel like I have missed some bits and bobs up here. Okay. So Tony said she's been really doing a lot of shadow work and inner self work. I don't remember right back yet to 3 years old. Interesting. That is interesting. So that leads us into some very curious conversations there, Tony, that are around, for me, for example, I have chunks of my life, and I have, there's a concept called walk-ins, and I'm on my third version of me. from what I can be aware of. My first version lasted from pre-birth, birth through to 6. And then I switched from 6 till I was 19. And then at 19, I switched over again. There was an almost switch at 27. But this version of me decided to stay and continue forward. So, yeah, interesting. Anyway, tea. So we have here, it doesn't really show up in this light, but it's actually slightly blue. And this tea is from, oh gosh, what was it? The Herbal Hindsight. And it's called Winter Blues. And in here it is blue lotus petals, butterfly pea flower, coltsfoot, domania, herb robert, lavender, mullein, and sacred tulsi with a hint of lime peel. And I've also got a little bit of extra blue lotus in there. When I bought it, I was warned, do not have this before you go to sleep unless you wish to have some very vivid dreams. And I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. So, like I said, tonight is a continuation of today's process. And I am fully intending on having some very interesting results overnight with my sleep. And I'm grateful that I have Saturday and Sunday to do things, process, catch up, do whatever I need to do. And so I am fully going to be in very much my shadow work quiet space tomorrow. And it's going to continue on with this today. So, yeah. Awesome. So, Tony, no. Does no mean that I don't need to drink the tea? Or is it just my energy that sits in there? I'm curious. I am curious, Tony. Very, very curious. What would you see? Alrighty. Oh my God. My phone had an update this morning. And things are kind of not where they used to be. And I keep going to swipe certain spots that I got used to, and I've gone and changed it on me, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So you drink your cup of tea and then drink it and leave a little bit of tea in it, swirl it around and take a photo. How much, obviously it needs to be tea leaf tea, not in a bag. Cool. So you don't have to be in person. That's awesome. Wow. We shall talk, but not tomorrow. Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Miss Tamara. I say interesting because I was gifted some cards, and your team has decided that they would like those. Thank you. So let's see where we go. So I mentioned that there was something I was going to tell you guys. So today I was asking my body to lower my barriers, and I couldn't. I got down to like here and it wouldn't move. And I was just like, okay, come on, body, we can do this. We've done this so many times before. And what was happening was because of the upgrades, the stuff that needs to move out, my body didn't feel, my ego and my body didn't feel safe enough to be able to let my barriers down. And I tried encouraging it. I tried reassuring. It's like, you're in your house, you're safe. There's you know who's around. You know what they're doing. It's okay. And good morning, Debbie in YouTube land. Debbie from Texas. I love that. And I couldn't do it. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't fucking move. And I was getting a little bit, annoyed, because I was like, come on, body, we know how to do this. And we've done this so many times. And then I said, what do you require for me to be able to do this with ease? And all of a sudden it was like, theta. Oh, okay. So you require to go to theta to be able to do this? And it was like, yeah. So off I went up to theta, and instantly, as soon as I went through the opening to theta, it was like, boom, barriers were down completely, totally and utterly. You wouldn't even know that they existed. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. So, because of course, in theta, you're completely, totally surrounded by unconditional love. So you feel totally supported, completely safe. Like, you can do so much super deep healing in theta, and it's like the body knows that, and so it's willing to go places where you perhaps wouldn't be quite so willing if you're on your normal earthly space. And I was like, that's such a fascinating thing. So fascinating to have experienced that today. Yeah, Tony, super cool to be all the way from Texas. And it's even cooler that it's morning there. So it's the theta is the 7th plane, and it's a healing plane. So you've got alpha, beta, blah, 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 up to the seventh one. I can't remember what all of them do. It is something that we cover in the theta course. I wonder if it's in the theta book actually. So Viana Stivell is the person who, if you're interested in theta and what it can possibly do for you, this book here has so much stuff in it. It is basically like, it's not the same as, but if you were to listen to this book in Audible, which is what I did the first time, it actually does a lot of the introductory course in here. In fact, the introductory course is based off of this book. So, and it just, in the course, you go into more depth, you get more practice, you get to pair up and do practice and stuff like that. But this one is so cool. And before I did so it's the 7 planes of existence, 143. Sorry, Tamara. I'll just deal with this. Let's see if she got a picture. Okay. So the first plane of existence consists of all non-organic material on this earth. Okay. So all the elements that make up this earth in its raw form and all the atoms on the periodic table before they start to bind to carbon bases. Okay, so that's the first plane. The second plane of existence is all the organic material and vitamins, plants, trees, berries, elementals. So that's the second plane of existence. And then the third plane of existence is where the animals and humans exist. And it is the plane of life that has mobility, that exists from eating plants or other animals that coexist here. So this is the plane of protein-based molecules, carbon-based structures, and amino-based acids. Sorry, amino-based chains, not acids. So these organic compounds are the basis of life on this plane, and the atoms move faster than on the second plane. The fourth plane of existence is the realm of the spirit, where people exist after death and where our ancestors go in waiting. All right. So what some people might call like the spirit world and things like that. So that's the fourth plane of existence. The fifth plane of existence is so where the atoms move even faster than on the fourth plane. It is divided into degrees, hundreds if you were to count them. And this is the plane of the ultimate dualism. So the lower degrees of the fifth plane, where the negative entities abide, and then the higher degrees are where the councils of the 12 are held. Now, if you've done even what's her name? Dolores Cannon talks about this sort of stuff. A lot of metaphysical groups or teachings do actually talk about these council of higher beings, and Ina's is a council of 12. Then I'm not going to go into all of those sorts of things. There's healings that you can do within the fifth plane. The sixth plane of existence is where the atoms are moving even faster, and it is comprised of the laws. So the laws there are laws that govern our universe, our galaxy, our solar system, the earth, and even us. There are laws that govern the fifth plane, the fourth plane, the third, the second, and the first. It is because of these laws that there is an imaginary division between the different planes of existence. And because they actually exist all together, why it's imaginary. So when she says laws, she means the real laws, the laws of magnetism, the law of electricity, the law of truth, the law of nature, and the law of compassion. So they all sit in the sixth plane of existence. And the seventh plane is where is the pure energy of creation, which is theta. And so you're completely surrounded by unconditional love, and so it's creation space. Like there is no good and bad, there is no duality, it's just is. And it's an absolutely incredible place to do healing. So right. So there we go, Tony. Cool. Hopefully that answered your question, Tony. And if anybody else is curious about theta, yeah, I can do theta. I can do theta healing. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Alrighty. Back to tomorrow. Your cards, which are called Reflections of Nature Oracle cards. I think they must have come off a magazine or something. So here they are. They're very sweet. They're very cute. There's no book that comes with them. You've just got to read the cards and see what you get. Okay. Interesting. So the first card that we've got is the Scorpion. And it says, beware and watch out for the sting in the tail. So what I'm actually getting with this one is to be open to all the possibilities. It's like it's all very nice and well and good to go, oh, this looks like a great possibility, but it's like, look at all the aspects of it, not just the, oh, this is nice and light and fluffy. that's what I think this one is coming through as. Okay. So just be aware, all right, of all the wholeness of it. And I know you said you've been doing some really cool, interesting work today. Sometimes the sting can actually be sharing too much. So, you know, when you first get into energy healing and stuff, or counseling, or any kind of therapy type work, and it's like you just want to share it with everybody, and you just want to like it's almost like an oversharing of your experience as well. And the sting happens when you go, oh, I did some clearing work with you in my subconscious, and you know what I've discovered, and it's like blah, 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 and they're like sitting there going, well, fuck you. That's where the sting comes from. Or they go, look, just fuck off. I don't want to know. You're shoving it down my throat and I'm not interested. So it's about being aware of the audience. We come back to gratitude with the beautiful rhino. Look at that. With the flower and the butterfly. No. And it says, be thankful for all you have. So with that one, with the gratitude one, what I'm seeing with this one is to be grateful for all of the experiences that you've had that have led you to this point. And those, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, because they've all taught you something. And I know that you do a lot of this already. I feel that you do a lot of it already. And with this one, it's like, maybe share the gratitude a bit more. Share the gratitude, and it's like, it's not necessary to share all of the ugly parts necessarily. It's like, it's okay to share them with certain few people that you know will be open and an allowance of that. Beautiful mentors, or, you know, co-creators, or beautiful sisterhood, or something like that. And, you know, expressing gratitude never goes wrong. Ooh, we love this one, don't we, darling? Flexibility. Be flexible like an octopus. Be flexible and go with the flow. And what I'm sensing with this one is the flow of all the shifts and changes that are going on for you right now, internally, externally, with the business, with your family, with yourself. Because every time we do work, even as a facilitator, you know you're going to be receiving a lot of work, a lot of change as well. That's why a lot of people don't like facilitating necessarily, because they sort of think that they're a bit immune to the process. Then you get the others who are like, yes, I'm doing this course as much as for me as anybody else. And those are the ones that are always the best, because it's like they're not coming from that high and mighty space. So being flexible, allowing yourself the grace to move through those tight, crunchy spots with ease, like the octopus does. Every time I think of octopus, I think of that documentary that was on Netflix. I think it might still be there. I don't know. But it was called My Friend the Octopus. Oh, man, made me cry so much. Working out what to share is what I am stuck on in my business right now. Interesting. So, as you would know from a lot of business teachings, is there's a thing about identifying pain points and how it can possibly be solved. And also the experience side of things. So, for example, I just because I've been watching so much Tabitha, I keep going back to that. So, for example, there were hairdressers that she was working with, and some of them were in the industry for 15, 20, 25, 30 years. And to get a 30-year-old hairdresser is actually pretty intense because, carpal tunnel, etc. And the interesting thing is like they'd put along the bottom of the screen, what their name is and how many years industry experience that they'd had. And the ones who had a lot of experience, like those 10, 15, 20 odd, etc. years, they went one of two ways. They were of the opinion that you can always learn, you can always grow. They were humble. They were confident in what they did. They didn't feel like they had to shout it from the rooftops. They just knew. And their demeanor and the way that they were with their clients showed that. And then you got the ones that had been in the industry for 6 months and they're like, oh, please, I know what I'm doing. How dare she come in here and tell me what to do? Right? So it's like, be that quiet confidence and share what is necessary to help your clients feel safe and secure and like you know what you're doing, that confidence. And that will be what you require for your clients. They will feel it in your writings. If you try to do too much, verbal diarrhea, I've seen it in some of the people that I've worked with in the past. They want to just go, but I can do blah, 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 and then you've got massive screeds of information, and the clients who are already like bajiggity, that's why they're there in the first place, get so overwhelmed with all these words that they go, I can't do this, and they walk away. So keep it concise is what I'm trying to say. All of my words, keep it concise. All right, next one. We've got progress, which is, that would be a woodpecker. Yes, a woodpecker. You are making progress even if you're not aware of it. And again, as you're saying about your inner child stuff coming in and the energy of that, yeah. It's a deep work. It's not work that you're going to see. It's not like you're going to get ring binders necessarily full of information where it's like, yeah, congratulations, you've done this module today or you've done that exercise and here's a certificate. Inner child work doesn't work like that, as you know. It's like you feel it internally and you feel it and other people can start to see it as well. So keep going. You're doing a great job. The opening is happening. And you're still on a big, beautiful journey. You've got the old camel. And she's saying a time for travel, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. So keep your body moving, okay? Get out in nature. Go for those walks in the forest or by the ocean or the rivers or wherever you are. Get out there and just keep your body moving some, okay? It's vitally important that you do that right now. And getting that, you're going to find a lot of clarity as you do that. And I'm also being told when you go out in nature, don't wear your earbuds. Keep quiet. Don't wear your earbuds. Allow your mind to wander, but also be open to the messages as they come through. I know we can get a little bit stuck on listening to stuff whether it be music or Audible or a podcast or whatever. But they're saying, in this case, for this particular reading, they're asking you to go out into nature, no technology. Okay. They're saying for safety reasons, you can keep your phone with you. But just no earbuds, no nothing. Sprung, always have my earbuds. They're asking you to, they're trying to tell you stuff, and because you've got your earbuds and you're listening to other things, they're struggling to get through right now. Okay. Fresh air, no earbuds. At least once in the coming week is what they said. You can have it for the rest of the time, but make some special space for them to communicate with you. And please don't give up hope. You've got hope. Okay? Don't give it up. You got this. And keep asking them for support, because they're here to help you. Okay? Thank you so much, Tamara, for your beautiful donation. I'm so grateful for you, and I hope that this week to come is big and beautiful and wonderful, and your course continues to flow with ease, and just chill, be flexible, express your gratitude, be gentle and soft, and keep acknowledging that you are doing wonderfully well. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you, darling. Gotta love it when my fingers touch funny spots. Alrighty. You're welcome. Cute little cards, eh? Like, very cute. All right. Edwina, would you like to put your question in the chat, please, love? That would be amazing. So, yes. Just checking through the comments, making sure I haven't missed anything. Okay, cool. A little bit about it, audio call. Yeah, Dolores Cannon is just so good. I will, it is still on my list of probably my next round of training. My next thing to bring in formally will be QHHT. That is definitely where I'm looking forward to moving into in the future. And I look forward to doing that sort of stuff, because I get that there's a lot of very big, beautiful, deep healing that you can do through QHHT. And I know I got, when I've only had one session, and I definitely wish to have another one. And I got such deep, profound insights, but so much of my life has changed since I had that, which was, maybe almost 2 years ago now. Man, time flies. Probably is about 2 years ago now that I think about it. And I'm just, yeah, it's cool. It's a beautiful, gentle way of reconnecting consciously through your subconscious to your higher self. And that's a pretty profound thing. And when you hear yourself talking on the recording, it's like, wow, where did that even come from? And where did this information come from? It's like, it blows your mind. It really, truly does. You can go all sorts of places. If you read any of Dolores's books, you'll know. And I had such profound experiences with my session. So I would love, love, love to be able to do that and provide that as a service for other people. So hence the reason why it will be something that I will look at in the future. Just doing some other work on me right now. Mm. Oh, that tea is great. I'm loving it. And for those of you who don't know, QHHT is quantum healing hypnosis technique, and it is Dolores Cannon's work. It's her technique of helping people to go through regression, and you could say past life regression, but it's actually just other life progression, because if you listen to the book, The Conversations with Nostradamus, you'll know that time is not linear, it's spiral. And it spirals up and it spirals down, and we're just at a point on the spiral. So, hi, Paul. We are back. California ocean was amazing. The power of the ocean. Wow. That's right. You've never seen the ocean before. How was it, Paul? Was it cold? Was it warm? Was it fun? Did you stand in the sand and feel it getting pulled out from underneath your feet? Because I love that. Even to this very day, it's the only thing I like about the beach. Not the only thing. That's not fair. But it is one of the most fun parts for me about the beach, is that moment where you're just standing at the shallows and feeling the sand being pulled out from underneath your feet. It's I find it beautifully fun and exciting, and it makes me feel like a kid again. It's like swinging on the swings, and when I lean back and all the air and the blood and stuff rushes to my nose, and it makes my nose tingle, and I just right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Oh dear. Thank you for waiting for me. I was like, what on earth is going on here? Paul apparently went to Disneyland. I know he's over on YouTube, so you guys can't see on Facebook land. And he said it was an amazing feeling at the ocean. And then he said, oh, we lost you. You did. Apparently my internet, my satellite connection went out for a moment. Go figure. Anyway, let me jump back up to Edwina's comment. So, thank you. Thank you for waiting. Oh, maybe you didn't wait. Excuse me. Hello, Paul. Wow. Oh, that's funny. I just had a look at my background and my top, and I realized that I matched my background to my top, except I did the background first and didn't think about what top I was going to wear, and then my body chose this top. Isn't it amazing what your body will choose for you if you let it? Mm-hmm. Okie dokie, Edwina. We have the Sacred Forest Oracle is the cards that you have, your beautiful beings have chosen. And as we know, I haven't been working with these cards for very long or very, very often. So let me just grab up the first one. Let's see if I'll just give it a quick little read. Okay. Cool. So the first card that you've got is the Daffodil Fairy, which means new beginnings. How cool is that? I love the little daffodils and the sparkles happening there. They're so cute. And it says the spirit of the daffodil fairy says it's time to start a new project or a new cycle. Life force and vitality are emerging. Release that which doesn't serve and support you and make way for a new start. Success is at hand. Oh, interesting. So new things popping up in your world. And as we know, when we have new things popping up in our world, sometimes we have to let go of the old things, and that can be a little bit scary sometimes. And it can come coupled with a bit of grief and a little bit of fear. But what if you don't have to be fearful? What if you can be excited instead? So cool. You have a lot of interesting cards in your I love daffodil flowers too, actually. You have a lot of interesting cards coming up in your reading here, and they're kind of all leaning to that same direction of moving forward and new beginnings. So that's actually the most perfect card. Oh, I bet she knows today. And most perfect card for you to start this reading with. The next card is Guardians of the Land and Protection. It's pretty cool, hey? It's a beautiful stag standing there. So the spirit of the guardian of the land says you are safe and surrounded by protective shield. You are not alone. Your life is guarded and protected by higher forces. Within this, you can soar to great heights. So obviously, we're looking at these moments where you might be a little bit frightened or fearful of moving forward. And it's like these guardians of the land which could also be called your spirit team or Invisi team if you're Melinda, or however you wish to call them. They are surrounding you and protecting you and giving you the support that you require. Okay, so you can even have that beautiful stag in your team if you like, if that feels like he needs to be there, or whatever other spirit animal is calling to you. So that just feels really good. It's like they're just giving you big huge hugs and like, yeah, go for it, you got this, girl. So I get the sense that there's some big changes happening for you right now within yourself, and maybe with at work. In your work situation, it feels a little bit lighter. You've got butterfly spirit, which is transformation. So we've had new beginnings, protection, and now transformation. And so the past is behind you. Everything is changing. It's time to launch a new cycle, a new project. With care and miracles can abound. So I'm going to read the little blurb that's at the start of this, because I'm thinking, I think you'll get a lot of a kick out of this one. It goes, in the sacred forest, you can hear their approach before they arrive. Listen. It's the songs of the butterflies. Their melody trails behind them in ribbons of luminescent lights as their delicate gossamer wings flutter in a kaleidoscope of sound, color, light, and delight. Magic is afoot. So there we go. Transformation, hey? And it's interesting, they've got the butterfly there, they've got the pearl there, which of course we know is a big transformation all of its own. Taking that oyster and creating that beautiful pearl in there. Amazing, amazing. And of course, along with all of that, this new beginnings and the transformation and all of that stuff, what do we get? Everybody say with me, we get growth. Which in this case is on the card of toadstools. And the spirit of the toadstool says, beneath the surface of your life, miraculous changes are occurring. Something that you thought was ordinary is, in fact, remarkable. You are in a time of rapid spiritual and material growth. Get ready and hang on for the ride. So sometimes when we get stuff like that happening in our world, it can seem to take us like it's like out of the blue. We don't expect it to come. We might be getting a big job change, and that might show up as being made redundant from our previous job, which then pushes us into a job that's actually more suited to us. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen to you. It's just sometimes these growth moments happen whether we like them or not. And in a way, we have chosen them. It's just that they may have been chosen before we even were born. So, and as a result, our higher self is, keeping us going on our path. And this lovely little human meat sack that we have chosen and have created for ourselves likes to be a little bit comfortable, and likes to be in our own little space. We don't always like change. We don't always like to be moving forward and going through those growth moments. So we resist them. We would rather be grumpy in the job that we're in than and relationship or friendship or whatever, than actually grow and take a chance on doing something or having something in our world that makes us feel amazing. So this is a time of a lot of change for you. It's a time of a lot of growth, as this card says, and it's about taking those moments that might seem to be a bit scary and a little bit unknown, and turning them into something really incredible in your world. Okay. With change and growth, you also have to have, and this is the other thing that your team is asking you to be reminded of, is patience. So you got the foggy bog. So the fog in the forest is so dense you can't see your hands in front of your face. You take a step forward. The soil is soft and spongy. You realize that you are standing in a bog, and to go forward is to risk sinking deeper into the mud. The best strategy is to be still and wait for the fog to lift. So the spirit of the foggy bog says, have patience. Wait until the fog lifts before taking action. The truth will emerge in time. You just have to go deeper and follow your intuition. All right. So it's like the rest of this reading is telling you this is coming. We're giving you a heads up. You always say we don't give you a heads up. We're giving you a heads up today. It's coming. Be aware of it. It's going to challenge you. Yes, you're going to be scared. Yes, it's going to be exciting. Yes, there's going to be some challenging moments in there. It's not easy moving from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You literally have to turn yourself to mush to get there. And I think they're also saying that with that, it's not actually that drastic. Like as a human, we don't have to go that far. It's just a great analogy. So just be patient with the process. It is coming, it is happening, and they're just still pulling on all of the appropriate threads that are required to bring the possibility to you that is going to create this fabulous new direction in your world. Be mindful of how you're speaking, is what else they're saying to me, of why hasn't happened yet. It's kind of like, you know, when you're growing something in the garden and you plant the seeds in the garden, and or the bulbs. Here's a good one for you. You plant the bulbs in your garden, and one season rolls around and you're going, why haven't they popped up yet? So you dig it up to have a look. It's still not doing anything. So you put it back down again. And then you wait another season. And then you're like, why hasn't it popped up yet? It's because it's not the time for this bulb to come yet. And it's not until you just forget about it and just let it be that, and just, you know, don't judge it. Stop pulling it up to have a look at it. It allows it to grow its roots properly and start sprouting properly. So that's pretty much where you're at right now. You're actually at the sprouting point, I'm getting. You've done your root work. That's happened. You've stopped digging up the bulbs. You stopped digging it up and questioning, why haven't you grown yet? Why haven't you come into my life yet? And now it's just being patient and allowing the fog to clear so that you can blossom into this new and receive this new possibility into your life. Now, I don't like doing timeline readings because there's a lot of things that can change and I don't want to stick you. So I feel like you're going, yeah, but is it going to be in the next week? Is it going to be in the next 3 weeks? Is it going to be in the next month? Or 3 months? I don't wish to stick you in any way by going, oh, well, it's going to be in the next blah, blah, blah. But the timeline that I'm aware of might require you to make certain choices to get to that. And maybe you choose not to do those choices. So the timeline shifts. Does that make sense? And that's why I don't like doing timeline readings. And I don't like doing that sort of predictive type work because there are many multiple different timelines. as when we get into specific numbers. Okay. Bye, Debbie. Hope you have a fabulous day at work. Ooh, you just moved a whole bunch of energy. Well done. Sacred was the card that you got, darling, from your yummy cards. Sacred. So this time in your life, this process that you're going through is a sacred time for you. You're going to look back on this time and go, wow, that was where my whole trajectory changed. And it's going to look really interesting to you in years to come. And you can't perceive it yet because it's not here yet. But you're working on it, and that's pretty fucking cool. So, yeah, just keep moving through the process. Keep letting go of the stuff that's no longer serving you. Keep trusting, and keep trusting yourself. Be kind to yourself as you wait for this new beginnings, this upgrade, this work type stuff to change. Okay. And yeah, there's going to be something pretty big coming your way. I still feel that. And it's going to make quite the shift in your world, and you're going to feel a lot happier. That's what I'm perceiving at the minute. Thank you so much for your very, very super kind donation, Edwina. I am incredibly grateful for your continued support here on Find You Fridays. Just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Crafting Possibilities thanks you. And Find You Fridays, thank you. I thank you. You guys are literally helping to keep the business running. So I am grateful. Certainly grateful. It costs money to run a podcast, funnily enough. Don't do it for free. And it would be nice if I could. But I am grateful, grateful, grateful that you guys help me to keep it running. Thank you. Alrighta. Tony. Tony, my sweet, you have a request for a reading, my dear. Hang on just a second. I just remembered that Christine put in another donation. And I will make sure I do yours in a moment, and I'll deal with Christine's because I forgot to write her second one down, and she slipped in between. So I will deal with her first. Gotta find it. See? Okay. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you. Christine, question as to the blockages with management, slowing down, not go anymore, property management. I don't understand. What is your question? What is your... Are you asking why the management is slowing down? I'm not sure. Oh, it's easier if you just put it in the chat, Christine. Yeah, because I can't look at it. Okay. Oh, cool, Tony. All the zeros. That's awesome. All right. So, are my spiritual guides stressing to me to go into taking the state board mental health, since I am not seeing the synchronicity with management, since dealing with too many people that are not supporting? I feel alone doing the battles of property management, too many hats. Okay. So, are you asking if you're being guided to get a property manager, or I know that your team has like been telling you for a long time now to go and get your go and finish off your certifications and stuff and to do your state boards. I know that they've been doing that. We've covered that before. And obviously that messaging hasn't changed. Okay. Show me the yes. Show me the no. So truth. What will it create if Christine takes the state board exams for her psychology certification? That's a yes. Truth, what will it create if she then becomes an advocate voice for children? Yep, that's another yes. I think the question you've really got to ask yourself, Christine, and that's not something that I can answer, is property management truly for you? Is this something that maybe somebody else should do for you so that you can go and do things like your psychology certifications, so that you can go and be an advocate for children, so that you can go and do the things that you're actually passionate about, rather than this whole property manager thing, which is maybe it's not your bag. Perhaps it was your mum's, but maybe it's not yours. And what if you can just have a property manager who deals with all the stuff and you're their boss? So you don't have to. They report to you. So maybe that switch, and that way you can actually detach from the family stuff a little bit too. Because then you're not all emotionally wrapped up in it. And you can focus on the things that actually bring you joy, bring you happiness, lower your stress levels, help your cortisol levels drop down, which will then help you all around anyway. Okay? Just a thought. All right. Thank you so much, Christine, for your continued support. And now I'll jump back to Tony. Thank you, Tony, for waiting. Super grateful for you. What does my team want me to do for my business to start working again? I am studying slowly, doing creative work, have been advertising. It's hard getting clients. I can imagine that would be the case. Anything is possible. And Christine says, I need to breathe and balance in this chaotic world. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Hope you have a fabulous day. Getting these cards out. I'm working with actual tarot, so that's why I'm a bit quieter at the minute. That's wonderful to hear that you're taking a lot of time out to yourself now, Tony, and that you're loving it. Okay. Alrighty. So, tarot. Tarot is a funny one to read because, of course, we can choose to read reverse cards. I allow my cards to go reverse. I always question it because I just do. When they come out reverse, I just double check everything, right way, wrong way. Well, not wrong way, but just upright versus reversed. And your cards I've given some interesting results. So the question I was asking the cards was, and obviously your team, was what do you require to know about your business working again? And one of the things that was happening is these points along here were, like around my temples and stuff, were aching. And so that's like your form and structure. It's you basically, you got to stop. The words that I heard was you've got to stop being in your head. And you're going to have to think outside the box. You're not going to be able to do things the traditional way. And that comes with its own sets of challenges, of course, but you're smart. You're very smart and you can do things really well. How do you use the wireless headphones? I didn't hear what you said before my earphones came out. I don't understand. I've only just started the reading, darling. You're okay. I haven't shown you anything yet, so you're fine. But other than just get out of your head, and just you're going to have to be a lot more creative, and think outside the box. That's the first things that were coming through from a more physical aspect. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now so I can keep going through. All right. Otherwise, you'll just have to catch the reading back when it comes up as a replay. So, reverse cards. We've got the Seven of Cups. Now, Cups energy in this case is talking about abundance. And it's an abundance of all of that sort of thing. Abundance of material possessions. It's an abundance of spirituality. It's an abundance of health. It's an abundance of connection to spirit. It's an abundance of, what else have we got there? Connection to Mother Nature and all of that sort of stuff. Now, at the moment, it's in a reverse position. So it's basically, this is saying that where you're sitting up here, you're playing the victim at the moment. And you're feeling like all of your abundance is falling out of your cups. And you're getting very emotional about it. And while you're still sitting in this position with the victim being in the victim placement, you're not receiving the abundance that you absolutely can. When you trip out of being the victim, you end up being the person who's just receiving, and the receiving of the abundance is so bright that it's putting you into shadow, right? So it's, at the moment, this is where you're sitting. You're sitting with there's so much abundance there for you, but if you've got this point of yourself that you're going, I can't do it, I'm not able to, nobody is supporting me, I'm feeling really alone, whatever other victim consciousness stuff is going on there. So that's something for you to work on. Find out, with all of your training, with all of your skills, with all of your spiritual tools, your healing skills and all of that, start doing some digging into this victim consciousness, because that's what's preventing you from moving forward and receiving all the abundance that is waiting there for you. Okay, so that's your first part of your message. Two of Swords. And she's upside down. So again, we're seeing your world is upside down. You're allowing your emotions to lead. You're not listening properly. And you're not being very aware of what is possibly around you at the moment, as far as business opportunities, of business pathways and that sort of thing. It's like, and also I'm getting a sense of the world closing in. It's kind of like it's really heavy above you, and you're not feeling very open and spacious. Whereas if we turn this card this way, we see she's actually in a very powerful position. And while she does have a blindfold on, if you look really closely, she's actually able to peep out from underneath the blindfold. If you look really closely to that card, you can see it. See? You can actually see her eyes, or his eyes. And so this is telling me that at the moment, you feel like you can't see the way out. You can't see the way forward. So it's when when I see this card come up and it's in this position, I'm like, oh, you're super aware of all the things that are going to happen around you, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, right? It's like you've taken away the sense of sight, the ability to see as such, but the hearing is very, very acute. In this position, you're not even allowing yourself to hear. You're in defensive mode, right? And so the swords, apart from being ready to fight, they're more like I've got my arms crossed and I'm sulking, right? That's more what it feels like at the moment with this card in this position. So it's holding you down, holding you back. And again, because the water is higher than your head, you're letting all of your emotional stuff overrule anything that your team is trying to bring through to you to help you to see outside the box, to perceive and to be aware of the new possibilities that are coming in. In this day and age, we have so many different possibilities to be able to connect with others, and in a way that doesn't have to be face to face. And that's the most incredible thing. Like, I see YouTube channels that are maker YouTube channels that maybe only do one thing. They might only do beading, or they might only do resin or something like that. And they've got like thousands, if not, heading towards 10,000 or more followers. And they're not great. They're really not that great. There's a couple of YouTube channels that I follow, and they're fantastic. They're engaging and they're fun to listen to and stuff. And then I come across these other ones and I go, how on earth did you get so many followers? And I go, good on you. That's awesome, because you're probably starting to earn money from YouTube, which is fantastic for you. And then I compare them to the other maker channels that I listen and watch, and I go, gosh. So, like I said, you're going to have to think outside the box. And you might have to create something digital, a digital platform for you to connect with. I know one of my beautiful friends, when she was doing tarot readings and stuff, she wouldn't do them like this. The people would ask her a question, they would pay her the money, she would then go away. Like, they would email her, or they would ask her via Facebook or whatever, and she would email them, and then they would email her back their question, or there'd be a formal arrangement in there. She'd go away, she'd do her reading, and she would type it back and send it back to them. She never met these people face to face. She never saw their pictures. She never spoke with them, just messages, emails or messages on Facebook. And that was it. And she did really well with that. So it's another possibility. It's a bit more basic, but it's another possibility. All right. We have another swords card. And this one here, 10 of Swords. What I get from this one is you feel like you have been stabbed in the back. You feel abandoned. You feel like there is, like, in those dark moments when you're alone in your bedroom and everybody's quiet and there's not much happening around you, this side is coming out of you. And these are sort of the more darker, more negative thoughts that are starting to penetrate your conscious space. Now, what I would like to highlight to you is this lovely bright yellow spot in the middle. I'd also like to highlight to you the fact the face is facing towards the bright yellow. If you wish to turn this card in this way and let go of all of this negativity, you're going to have to either forgive them for your perceived rejection, that they rejected you, that you feel rejected by them. Good old ho'oponopono. It's that you're going to have to do that work, because while you're still holding on to this stuff and while it's still sitting like this, it's preventing you from being able to see the possibilities that are open to you, from seeing that beautiful golden light of possibilities. Okay? This is your time to let go, to forgive yourself, clear out those hooks and cords and ties and all that dark shit. Okay, when you see them and perceive them popping up, it's time to do some inner child work. It's time to do some journaling. Of course you can. Of course you can do the cancel, clear, delete. You can do whatever works for you. I've heard of all sorts of wonderful processes. In fact, we may even do one tonight because it's popping into my mind right now. It's a process that my beautiful friend taught me that she uses from time to time. So we might actually do that tonight. That'll just be something practical you can do at home. And yeah. All right. The next two cards are in the upright. So they've given you a lot of stuff to work on already, right? It's about being aware of your mental thoughts. And the other thing that I thought of that popped in was I saw this excellent video on this lady, and she's writing and pretending to write in her journal. And she goes, "How my therapist thinks that I'm writing in my journal. Well, today I was really annoyed by my co-worker, who did blah, 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 blah to me, but I got around that by doing blah, 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 blah." And it was all very light and fluffy and kind of like cool. And then the next clip was how I actually write in my journal. And it was, "That fuck bitch could blah, blah, blah." And she was just going off and just letting rip. And it was just perfect, because so much of what we perceive is the bad, the negative, the dark, still has to be acknowledged. It's still part of our psyche, our makeup. And if we can just scribble it out and get it out of our head, put it on paper, nobody has to see it. Nobody has to hear it. Nobody has to be privy to reading that at all. You can bloody well rip it up and put it in the trash, or burn it if you're able to, or shred it, or whatever afterwards. But I was like, that's actually a form of journaling I could definitely get into. Because it's that moment of just being able to acknowledge the darkness without letting it take over all of the goodness. Okay? So it's like, this is all part of the big, beautiful tapestry that we are. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome. And that's why I talk about it that way, because it is all of us. We can't all be light and fluffy and full of love all the time. Sometimes being full of love is not light and happy. Sometimes being full of love is actually loving the darkest, most ugly depths of us as well. It's called character development. If you read fantasy novels, you know all about it. It shows up in lots of different ways. One of the most beautiful examples I saw of that recently in one of the series I read was in A Crown of Thorn and Roses and Thorns, a crown of thorns and roses, yeah, and that series. And it was one of the characters there that literally had to face the most deepest, darkest, ugliest parts of herself in a mirror. And it was a magical mirror. And the only way that she could secure her magical mirror, that magical mirror that she required to do something else for another aspect in the story, was to literally look at the most horrible, ugly, horrific, murderous parts of her character in the face and see it embodied in a character. Like, it was really, really horrific to look at. And she had to get to a point where she could look at that and love it anyway. And that's what we have to do too. We have to do that to ourselves, for ourselves. And with that, it changes that part of us that makes us go into self-doubt, that stops us from seeing possibilities, that thinks that having those barriers up is the most important thing to have, right? Allows us to push those barriers down in a way, because we just know that we're fucking kick-ass women or people who are just fucking doing this life and doing it the best bloody way that we can. Okay. So with that, we have our next card, which is Temperance. And of course, Temperance is about balance. Temperance is about the balance between the emotions, whether you respond or react, whether you're the balance of being on solid ground or with a foot in the water, whether you're choosing to be continuing to be enlightened and seeing the bright and shiny, or whether you're seeing the dark and winding path, or whether you feel smothered by that path. It's like you can see it and still not be smothered by it, right? So Temperance, creating that balance within yourself. As you create more balance within yourself, you won't get sucked into this, okay? And the last card, which is interesting because we started with a Cups card, we're going to end with a Cups card. And this Cups card is the Six of Cups. Which again, when you look at it, it's actually about abundance, but it's an abundance of gentleness. It's a gifting. And what I'm seeing here is it's like your team is around you. They're trying to gift you a lot of knowledge right now, and a lot of peacefulness and a lot of calmness. And all you actually have to do is reach up and receive it. They're standing there waiting for you to do that. So yes, your team does wish you to keep moving forward. Yes, they do wish you to keep going with your studies. Yes, they do wish you to be in your creative work. I'm getting big yes, yes, yes. And maybe a little bit of polishing on the advertising. Maybe it's like things can go weird in the formatting when people do adverts and stuff. If they do it on a landscape format, and then it goes onto people's phones and it kind of gets cut off at the edges and things like that. That's something that you have to be aware of when you're trying to market on Facebook. And you asked a question around there, how did my friend get those readings and things? She was in some groups and started to just get her name out there a little bit. And she got enough people who had great readings that started referring other people. So then it was word of mouth and she didn't have to do much at all. Okay. So it's about receiving. But to get to here, you got to do this work first. You have to get out of your victim consciousness. You have to stop letting your emotions rule in your head. And like you have to get out of that, be open to possibilities, stop trying to control everything. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it is time to get someone else to help you with that sort of stuff. And also acknowledge that that takes time, money, effort on their behalf. And it's important that you are willing to pay them fairly. You know, I've been in a lot of VA jobs, and it's a difficult thing to manage. But there's also groups like Fiverr who are international, and you can pay them to create a really beautiful marketing campaign for you. So Fiverr, Fiverr, Google them. They can do all sorts of stuff. Like, they do all sorts. It's incredible the stuff that they do. And for cheap, like you can, there's all sorts of price ranges that you can get on there too, which is really cool. So there is that. All right, your yummy card, my dear. You're doing a lot of healing at the moment. Okay? You're doing a lot of healing. And sometimes when we're doing a lot of healing work, as in internal stuff, our shadow work, that sort of stuff, it can mean that we're gathering a lot of information. And sometimes when we're doing a lot of that, business has to be slow. Business gives you space. Because for you to be the absolute best tip-top shape, to be able to do your business, you have to do this upskilling first. Okay? So just be aware that it might still be in a little bit of dribs and drabs, and that's okay because you're still doing a lot of other alternative education. Okay? Thank you for your beautiful donation, Tony. I'm super grateful for you, and thank you for coming in to play, allowing me to bring out inviting me to bring out my tarot again. See, once upon a time, I used to be scared of the tarot. Never wanted to use it ever. Never, ever. And then one day I just felt called. And my friend was running a course and I went. So you just never know when something like that is going to happen. You never know who will actually join up in a course with you, you know. So, or who will purchase your services or anything like that. You just never know. Alrighty. Thank you so much for being here, Tony. I'm incredibly grateful for you. Drinking my tea. Yep. I know you've been doing a lot of healing. And it can be frustrating when we're doing healing and we just want to do business as well. But the business has enough honoring and respect for the healing process to be slow, to quieten and like almost go to nothing. And it's frustrating as hell. And then you kind of go, oh, actually, thank you. Thank you for giving me the space to do that. It's pretty cool, actually. All right. That will be enough of the readings for now. I would like to do meditation. We're at 2 hours in. I think it's time. It's time to do our lovely little meditation, and then I can toddle off and do my own inner girly work. My goddess work, I should say. My inner goddess work. Keep working on the. This is going to be an interesting 24 hours, I think. Anyway, you're so welcome, Tony. And thank you to everybody who got readings tonight. I'm so grateful for you all. It's so cool. Beautiful. Thank you, Tony. And yes, please do watch the meditation tomorrow. I get that might be really helpful for you with the whole cancel, clear, delete thingy. It won't be technically that, but it'll be something that could help you. And you probably already know it already, but we'll see. Alrighty, have a beautiful sleep, Tony, and enjoy your evening and enjoy your week to come. Alrighty, my friends. Let's take a big deep breath in, close your eyes, all the way down to your belly. Breathing out, letting your shoulders relax, letting your arms relax, letting your chest relax. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy and the unconditional love all the way up. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. Now let's do the expanding out tool because it makes life so much easier. And now let's expand out our awareness in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your awareness out beyond the planet, out beyond the solar system, out beyond the galaxies. Now focusing on your body once more, grab your sense of allowance and expand that out in a big bubble up into the sky and down into the earth. Expanding out your allowance out beyond the size of your home, out beyond the size of the country, beyond the size of the planet, out beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the galaxies, beyond the universes. And beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and out. And now I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting on a log in a lush, beautiful forest. And you're in a beautiful clearing and you hear the sounds of the forest around you. And it is peaceful and temperate. You may even become aware of maybe forest creatures that are observing. You might see little butterflies, you might see the fairies. There'd be lush green grass, and the odd flower, maybe a buttercup or a daisy, or many wildflowers, whatever your forest clearing looks like to you. And as you're sitting there, you become aware of like a waterfall or a babbling brook. And now in front of you, there is a ring of stones. Pretty good sized stones. And this ring of stones is about 1 meter across. And it is creating the edge of the fire pit. And now imagine that there is within this fire pit a beautiful fire roaring away. The logs are all stacked up to get the best amount of heat, the cleanest burn, and there is no real wind today, so any smoke or anything like that just goes straight up in the air, straight up to the sky, to fire the sky. And as you're watching this flame and these logs burning away, and these logs never seem to actually disintegrate because they're magical logs. They are logs that will stay burning as long as you require them to. And as you look at the logs, you'll see it's not a normal kind of flame either. There's hints of other colours coming through, blues and purples and greens, as well as the orange and the white. And the logs have hints of red in the coals, because there's always balance there. The burning, the progression of burning, taking something from the log to the coals. So there is an example of the entire process. And now as you're sitting on your log and you're looking at these flames and these logs and these stones, I'd like you to now think of a situation in your life right now which seems to be so confusing, which seems to be coming out of nowhere, where there's conflict or where you're just flabbergasted about why something has happened the way it has, whether that be work or health or family or relationships, or maybe it's just the relationship with yourself, maybe it's your soul path, whatever it is that you're confused or worried about. And as you focus on these things, the situation in your life which is causing you to feel upset or angry or frustrated or sad or disappointed, be aware of where those emotions are sitting in your body. It might be around your throat, it might be in your heart, it might be in your stomach or your back, wherever it might be. I'd now like you to imagine pulling those points of those emotions out of your body. They might come out as lumps, they might come out as a string, they might come out as a vine. Just imagine pulling them out of your body and throwing them into the fire. You might feel like you want to do this physically, and that's totally okay. Put them into the fire. Watch all of these elements, these emotions, these things that are causing you pain, confusion, heartache. Moving them all from your body, from your system, until there is nothing left. Watch as the flames devour the energy which has moved out of your body, your emotions that have moved out of your body in solid form into that fire. Watch the colors of the fire change as each emotion hits those flames, dissolving them, turning that energy into beauty and the beautiful gift that you've given those flames and that fire. Watch as the flames dance about, excited about you taking that energy that has been holding you back, making you feel confused, or bringing you into the space of self-doubt. All that self-doubt that might be in your system, in your body, in your brain, pull it out. Put that into the fire as well. All the pain, the hurt, the suffering, the trauma, pull it all out of your system. Pull it all out. Put it into the flames. Put it into the fire. All of that anger, pull it out of your heart. The rage, the fury, the disappointment. Everywhere that you feel rejected, pull that out of your body. Wherever that is sitting, pull it out. Let it go. Put it into the flames. And anything else that is coming up to you, let it all go now. Into the flames. Let it burn. Let it transmogrify into energy, beautiful, gorgeous colors, to be absorbed back into Mother Earth or up into Father Sky. All of the heat from the anger, rage, fury, and hate, blame, shame, regret, and guilt, any of that victim consciousness, put all that in there too. And when you're done, if you're standing up, sit back on your log, placing your feet flat on the ground, your hands in your lap. Take a big, deep breath in. Feel how different your body feels, breathing out. Perceive as your body relaxes even further. As you breathe in, bring Mother Earth and your unconditional love all the way up. And feel how your body hums now that you've cleared out all of those little blocks out of your system. And as you bring Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down, feels like a warm hug all the way over your body. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now the logs collapse in on themselves. And the stones move together. And as they move together, making this circle smaller and smaller and smaller, showing you that all of that energy, all of that pain, all of that hurt and suffering doesn't need to be a big dominant player in your life anymore. It's being absorbed back into Mother Earth. The logs have collapsed all the way down and are going into Mother Earth. And the stones started absorbing themselves too, and smaller and smaller and smaller, until they become just one boulder. And this one boulder is your boulder. It's your special boulder. It's your special spot where, at your request, it can open back out into your special campfire to perform this healing work whenever you wish. You just have to ask it to be so, and imagine it is there, and it will be. So you place your hand on the boulder and thank it. Thank it for holding space for you. Thank you for taking all of that energy and all of those emotions that I could no longer hold anymore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now imagine that you're standing underneath a big, beautiful, crystalline waterfall, and the water is now flowing over and through your body, washing away any other little fragments that are ready to go. And now stepping out onto the big, warm river rock. Can you feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet? And the gentle caress of Father Sky above you, surrounding you with comfort and support and unconditional love. Bring a loving big deep breath in. Bring Mother Earth all the way up your body as you breathe in. And now bringing Father Sky energy all the way down as you breathe out. Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. And finally, Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Please remember to have some water. You might feel like having something a little bit salty. You've done some beautiful work tonight, and please know you can use that tool anytime that you require. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I am incredibly grateful for you all. Until next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you again soon.